Hello there, and welcome to 10 tips and tricks for a good start in Age of Wonders 4. In this video, I have a lot of little things that I hope will help you out in getting your foot into the door. This game has a lot to offer, and it's easy to get lost in the lot of things that it has to offer, and yeah, I hope this will help you out. So let's get started with number one right away. When you're starting out, you get to select what kind of culture you want to play. There's plenty of cultures to play. The more DLCs you have, the more you get. And overall, I would recommend trying to stick to one path for a while to learn how they work, how the game works, how to utilize their mechanics well, because every culture has its innate mechanics that are unique to them, and utilizing these well is extremely important. You also have different city buildings, different troops, different spells for each culture, so you can start getting the basics done and learn what this one culture can do for you, and after that, this knowledge transfers nicely into all the other cultures. But at the beginning, well, the game gets substantially harder the less you utilize the strengths of your culture with all the other things that you can do. Number two, the first hero that you create, you have the freedom to select the character class that this hero is ought to be. I strongly recommend when you're new to the game to take a look at the Ritualist. The Ritualist is a character class which provides healing spells, summoning spells, and support capabilities. The nice thing here is that this category of skills allows you to, well, fix out any mistakes you do better than all the others, because a fighter or a mage isn't as good at healing people that were overextending because you didn't know better. You can, if you don't know how to approach into a fight, just send in something summoned and be forgettable. Watch what happens. If it dies, you haven't lost anything for real. These abilities are really good to go carefully into the things that you need to do. Number three, the basics of city building. So this game works with a system where you get to claim provinces around you, and then you can build buildings in the city. The provinces you pick boost the buildings that you can build. Boosting means you get them cheaper and you get them done faster. These are both things that are very, very desirable. Overall, you want to do a cycle that first gives you a building that increases the production of your city. At least that's how I like to do it. Most of the time, these get boosted by farms. It depends on the culture, though. Sometimes the starter building gets boosted by something else. First, I run for production because production makes it so that every building I produce gets built faster. So overall, I save time with that. After that, it really boils down to a little bit of knowledge, because more about that later, which comes via a forester. Then a little bit of mana, depends on the situation, which comes via a quarry. And after that, it's time to upgrade the city. Once you have your town hall tier 2 upgrade, you can expand the city further. This is important to do because otherwise the city stability will go negative eventually. The bigger the city, the less stability it has, and the buildings that increase stability again are all beyond Town Hall 2 plus, so don't postpone that too much. So here again, in short, go for a production building first, boost that if possible, then go for knowledge and mana if possible, because these are very, very powerful materials. Also boost these if possible. And after that, it's up to you if you want to go for the tier 2 upgrade of the city or increase your gold or food income. It depends on your playstyle. Once the city is on tier 2 town hall level, it can freely specialize into any direction, and I can only say that no two cities behave the same, and it really, really boils down to what kind of target priority the city has. Building a tavern once you are on tier 2 never hurts, because the cities, once they grow unstable otherwise. Moving on to number 4, scouts. In the early game, when you start out, build a lot of scouts. 3 to 5 to 6 to 7 it depends really on how far you want to go. But the more scouts you have, the more of the world you can explore fast, and the more of the free resources you can claim. The free resources that are lying around are stupidly powerful in general, and therefore you don't need to necessarily booster up your starting hero with a ginormous tier 1 army, because the troops that you can build first up are most of the time none that you want to keep. Scouts, on the other hand, once they have scouted everything, can be easily disbanded, and most of the time they're super cheap, and once they have picked up one or two resource packages, they basically paid off for themselves. One thing here I want to mention when going for scouting: pick up basic seafaring as soon as you can, because it allows you to pick up all those sea resources as well, and there's also a lot of stuff to gather there. Number 5, knowledge. Knowledge is one of the, if not the most important resource to gather in any situation. Knowledge transfers into new spells and unit enchantments and summonings and new tomes, and generally is, in this game, basically technology. And therefore it is one of the things that make you go stronger. In general, if you have an opportunity to boost research and you have many other opportunities, weigh it off closely if you really want to skip out on the research opportunity, and also build those research buildings as soon as you can, because the earlier you got them, the earlier you get the more powerful enchantments on your troops and the more powerful troops available. It is just very, 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 very important. Number 6, specialize yourself in tomes. Tomes come in different colors. You see here, there's different affinities attached to them, and it is very, very recommendable to mix and match between 2, at most 3 different realms, because otherwise you will be unable to pick the higher tiers of the tomes. For a tier 4 tome, you need to have a grand total of 6 affinity in the magic school that they belong to. And that means if you have chosen to wildly between many, many colors, because tier 1 and tier 2 don't have any prerequisites, you will end up with a build that is not able to pick up the really, really strong tomes. I gotta say, the difference between a tier 2 and a tier 3 tome is enormous. The contents of these books are so much more powerful than their predecessors that it really, really hurts your build a lot if you can't access these. Also, specialization makes you more streamlined and makes it easier for you to strengthen your strengths, basically. So, number 7, expand as fast as possible. You have a city building limit. Usually it's 3. Here I have a expansionistic culture, and spreading out and finding locations to build cities is one of the things that I try to do during my first 15 turns. I want to have 3 cities if possible. Thing here is quite simple. Whenever there is a magic material in the vicinity, it's a good spot for a city. If there is a wonder in the vicinity, it's a good spot for a city. And that's pretty much all you need to know at the beginning of the game. You can cherry pick later, because the earlier you get your cities up and the earlier you get a claim on magic material or wonders, you really feel how much more powerful you get. This is also a reason why I say that scouts are so important, and here's another little trick that I want to mention. In this game, every single troop can be extracted from its main banner. So here we have 6 troops, but I could spread them out into 6 different directions and let them explore. You usually start with a grand total of 5 units. You don't need to have them only in 2 banners. You can spread them out freely. You're usually not getting attacked by the neutrals at all, and you can get so much easier an intel about good building spots this way. Number 8, a typical army setup. Because this is a question that every newcomer asks themselves, here's how I usually do this. Every one of my banners usually consists out of 1 supporter, and then it really is the typical package to have 2 archers. Here I don't have them. Here, that's my more typical approach. 2 archers, and then the rest frontline. This is 50% frontline, 50% backline, because supporters are usually also ranged units. This is obviously not always the best course of action. Here, for example, we have a very melee-oriented banner, and I can only recommend to experiment with specializations with a specific thought behind that. But you never do anything wrong with one supporter, two ranged attackers, battle mages, or archers, and the rest with fighters. This is a very generalistic package which doesn't excel at anything, but it also doesn't really show any glaring weaknesses. Number 9. Prepare to defend your empire. Age of Wonders 4 works with a mechanic where you get attacked from outside forces even if you don't get involved in any war whatsoever. Even if you are playing nice with all the AI plays around you, eventually you will be getting attacked by enemy city-states. Infestations will send armies to your cities. There will be events that spawn neutral threats. Altogether, you can't prevent that. This means between turn 20 and 40, you really need to start building up a defense inside your empire. Have a mobile stack of 6 groups that can just wipe out invaders, because otherwise your provinces will get plundered. You will need to move around your main army in awkward ways, and knowing that this will happen gives you all the opportunity to be prepared well. In this empire, for example, there will be here in this province one army sitting that will be just intercepting whatever comes around. And number 10, heroes are among the most mighty resources in the game. Heroes can become stupidly powerful. Once their level excels or goes double digits, 10 plus, their power is really something else. Especially the more powerful their items get. This means two things. For one, your heroes are investments that ought to be cared for well, equip them well, because they become more powerful than any unit that you can train in the cities. And the other thing also applies. If you see a level 12 enemy hero, oh boy, take him seriously. They can easily one-shot entire units of yours or do other really nasty things. Right-click them, check out what gear they wear, what kind of skills they got. They utilize the same skill board as your dudes, and therefore high-level heroes on the enemy side are really scary, and walking into them blindly and not respecting their capabilities, yeah, well, you will probably reload that battle at some point. There are 10 things that I hope helping out newcomers to the game. I recorded this at the dawn of the Ogre patch 2025, which is the currently newest version, so I hope these things help out, because the game changes a lot in between. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Consider checking out the description box down below. I'd be very happy if you'd feel like supporting the channel. There's YouTube channel membership or other ways and means in the description box below. A big thanks to all of you who do, and a big thanks to you for watching this video up until its very end. Deeply appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day, and see you next time.